Good afternoon, fellow software engineers. I just wanted to share with you a tool that I think is very useful that I've been using lately called Git Flow. About the 6 months or so I've been using Git Flow, it's created so much easier workflow for us to work with and manage. Has anybody here ever heard of Git Flow, first of all? Besides the people in my group, Thank everybody. Okay, well good, I get to share something with all of you. So first of all, let's take a look at a normal Git project. So I would have one branch. We'll be super original and call it master. Okay, so I have all my commits going to this one branch, right? Master. We can all agree that it's probably not ideal. We've all ran into merge conflicts. Anybody here run into a merge conflict before? Were you committing everything directly to master? That's a good way to have a merge conflict, right? So what if we had another branch that went in parallel with it? Without loss of originality, we could just call this develop and just pretend that all our developers just commit directly to this branch. Well, that's pretty good too. Then we can just reserve the master branch for stable releases. I mean, I think we all like that. Develop mainly has the same code as master, and all your developers work directly on that. But how many developers do you have? What's to say that you won't run into merge conflicts on develop? So the right thing to do, the correct way to do this would be to branch from development. Let's say we want to create a new feature. Okay, well we have a feature subgroup, like a folder, so our feature namespace. And we want to call this new feature UI element. This new feature branch that we work on, yes, it does risk some loss of versioning whenever new developers commit more messages here, more commits here. And we will eventually have to merge back in. There is no getting around that. There is no way to get around a potential merge conflict. But think of all the padding you have in between now. You have master intact, which has all your production level versions. You have develop, which you can figure out how to get your UI element merged into eventually, and life just generally sucks less. So here is the Git Flow cheat sheet. Let's talk about what Git Flow is. So really all it is a wrapper around existing Git commands. So here drawn out much better than in my one color marker. You can see different branches and sort of the same scheme that I was just going over. You can branch off of develop to create certain features, finish those features, and put them back in. Git Flow is not a new feature of itself, it's just a wrapper around existing Git commands, like I said. So here's a nice little Git equivalence chart. So when you Git Flow init into a directory, it initializes, creates an initial commit, and then checks you out to a new branch. That will create the develop branch in your directory, and you can start using it. So it creates it where you have this branching system automatically. Let's try it out. So we're in a repo here, and let's say I want to start a new feature. So I'll just say Git Flow feature start UI. Okay, and just like that, created a new branch, checked it out, switched me over to UI element. I just want to make a random function here. Ignore my lovely code here. We'll just do absolutely nothing useful. Okay, looks good. We will save that. Run our normal Git commands. So all the normal Git commands you use, commit, status, log, they're all valid here because this is all just wrappers around existing Git commands. I can see I have an uncommitted file here, so I'll just do this like normal. I will add that to the staging area. Oh, whoops, I can't spell. Now, my current branch is updated. That doesn't exist on the server yet. Full disclaimer, you use this for your project, make sure you publish your branch. If you don't, the TAs won't be able to see it, won't be able to grade it. In a production level environment, your boss won't be able to see it, your teammates won't be able to see it. So you need to make sure that you do Git Flow, feature, publish, and whatever the name of your branch is. To publish that up to the Git repo, to the remote, right? And anybody know what the remote's normally called? When I say remote, is that word just getting lost on everyone, or does anybody know? Origin. Yeah, call your remote origin. Just in case anybody's like, it's a remote, I've never heard of that. So you have a master branch, you have a develop branch, you have feature branches that we went over. Now what happens if you need to fix a bug? There's also a Git Flow feature for that. It doesn't do anything special, it just puts it in a folder called bug fix for you, so that you can resolve that bug separately and not mix that same version of code in with others. And you can also keep track of what bugs you've had over time, what fixes it took to actually resolve them over time. But let's say you have a hotfix. Does anybody know what hotfix is? Besides, it's on my monitor. So if you have a bug in your production level version, you need to commit now. It needs to not just go into develop, it needs to go into both, right? So let's say I'm over here working on this feature. Developers are all committing their own feature branches to develop. Meanwhile, we've noticed that there's a horrible bug on master that needs to be fixed right away. So what happens is I want to create a hotfix. So here's my hotfix branch. I want to hurry up and get my bug done with other developers, publish it so that they can pull it down. By the way, publish is just an alias for git push setup stream. It's all it's doing is just pushing your local branch to the remote. So whenever I go on hotfix, I'm in this namespace for hotfixes. When I get done with that, it goes directly into master, into develop, and deletes itself. Pretty sweet, right? I mean, it's 5 or 6 lines of Git that you don't have to type and remember. We have develop branch, which you're not really supposed to commit directly to. You're supposed to create a branch for each feature that you need. And whenever you're done with it, it will merge into develop and delete itself as well. It won't go directly into master like the hotfix branch does. That's a special feature of the hotfix branch does, so you can update your production version. So they all have equivalent things in Git, but why do you care? First of all, we talked about merge conflicts, much less painful. If you and your group have to merge things from 2 separate branches into develop, I think you'll find this, you're gonna have a lot easier time doing that than all in master or all in develop or any of the same branches, obviously. Another thing we can do is tagging. Does anybody know what tags are in Git? Anybody ever use tagging, versioning in Git? Right. So you can tag a certain release or version with a number so that you can know how to go back to it. You can send people to your app and have them download that specific version, which is nice. Well, one thing that's nice about Git Flow is it has versioning built in automatically. So for instance, let's say that I'm done committing on this now. I've already published this up to the origin. Everybody's pulled it down and tested it. They say it's great. All right. Git Flow, feature, finish, UI. Just like that. The branch merges itself back into develop, commits to your query, deletes itself. Everybody's happy. We get to organize our features, our releases, and our bug history. All in the same place. I mean, it's really a great wrapper around a lot of tools. And you can see here, this site has all the setup information you need, all the commands you need to do certain branches. If you guys are interested in getting this set up, I'll leave this up here for a minute. You can scan this QR code. Brings you to the link, or if you hate yourself, you can type that URL in your browser. Either way. Anyway, that has all the information that you need to get started with Git Flow. It's a great system. Like I said, it gives you this whole model here without having to give yourself a headache. Just a few commands: Git Flow feature start, Git Flow feature finish. Simple as that, guys. Hopefully it saves you as much headache as it saved me.